Hello guys, and welcome to episode 1 of Churn Valley, 24-day seasons. We are going to basically spend some time this morning taking some equipment that we are not going to need for quite some time up to the sell point and selling it back. So we've made just a few changes since we were last here for the intro video. The first thing you probably noticed is there is no mud. I have disabled the mud because it was just going to be a little bit too crazy. The second thing is that we put in the Wales Geo mod because the map is supposed to be modeled after Western England, and when I pulled up the map of Western England, I found out, I noticed that Wales is basically on the west coast of England, so I thought I'd go ahead and put that in. As you can see, we've bumped our time up to 15 times speed. That's where we're going to pretty much keep it the entire time that we play the game on this map. You can see that we've got rain scheduled for 4 of the next 7 days. I've also put in the no teleport mod, so you'll see I'm going to hit tab here, and tab is not doing anything. If we hit escape, or if we go here and go to, if we hit escape and get to the right screen, you'll see that the enter is grayed out. We can't do that. So we're going to take some stuff up to the main farm that we are basically not going to need for a while to the sell point and sell it off. There's a weight there. So something else I wanted to bring up is I'm not going to mess with a roleplay story here. This is all about 24-day seasons, the strategy to play this type of a season length, and basically doing it. So we're not going to mess with coming up with some crazy story as to why an American is in Western England, and how I have basically come across a farm that is equipped with a whole bunch of machinery and whatnot. So we're just, like I said, we're just going to ignore that fact and just play. So let me see here. We're going to alright, I think that's all the equipment here at this this farm. So like I said, we're going to sell off some stuff that we're not going to use, like the harvester. We're going to sell off this the New Holland T6. We're going to sell off the water trailer. We're going to sell off the case. We're going to sell off the Kuhn baler, simply because we're not going to need that stuff for a long time, and we don't need it soaking up our bank account as far as daily maintenance goes. Once we get enough stuff sold off, we're going to buy I've got a really good mod that allows you to make your own liquid fertilizer. So we're going to procure that so that we can make our own liquid fertilizer, which will be fairly cheap. We're also going to get the buy manure mod, and we are going to basically spread manure on the fields to get one level of fertilization. Then we are going to plow the fields under, which will give us a second level of fertilization because we have the manure mod installed, which gives us a manure bonus. And then we are going to cultivate the field, and we're going to then spread liquid manure on the map, or on the fields, to give us our third level of, not liquid manure, liquid fertilizer, to give us our third level of fertilization. And then we're going to be sowing fields. So that's kind of the order of the things that we're going to do over the next several game days. Basically over the next over spring, pretty much. So if we sell everything off, we should have about $1 million to begin our adventure into seasons. Oh, you know what? That bucket, is that outside the zone? It is. We will get to that here in a bit. So since we have the no teleport mod in place, we're going to have to basically drive everywhere we want to go. We're going to have to include our pickup truck with follow me here to the store, so that we can use it to then drive back to the farm to get additional equipment, or to if we hire a worker in a field, we'll have to use the pickup truck to drive back to the farm to do another task, to like get another tractor. That's because basically, is this where we need to be? Yes, it is. And it's basically because we've got not really all the time in the world, but we do have a fair bit of time, and we don't need to be rushing around. We don't need to be tabbing around to vehicles and whatnot, simply because we've got 24 days to get all of our planting and all of our field prep done. And if we rush around too quick, we might find ourselves done and have 10 more days left. And then what are we going to do? Alright, so we have a handy remote control that opens up our gates for us. Spin around here, get our pickup truck ready to lead the convoy, if you will. Oops, let's go ahead and get our weight. There's no reason for you to stick through all of this. We will go ahead and sell all of this stuff off, and I'll be back. So I'll see you in just a few moments once we get all this stuff sold. So guys, it has taken us all day to get all of the starting equipment down here to the shop, and we've got it all stacked up here. The shop has agreed to stay open in order to facilitate some transactions. So we're going to start by selling off all of our equipment. We're going to sell off that. Sell off our truck. And now it's just going to be a big long process of pulling things up here. We had to literally drive all over the map to pick this stuff up. We had stuff at all various corners of the map. This little Zetter was way in the was way up there in the north west portion of the map, just above field 1. in a little building all by itself. And we've got our fertilizer spreader and sprayers. They were down at the arable farm. They were hidden away in a building that had its door shut, so picked it up. And what we will be doing is tonight the shop has agreed to sell us a pickup truck. They've got quite a selection in stock, so we are going to take a look at what they got and buy up a new truck. And tomorrow they have agreed to show us some tractors and some manure spreaders that they have in available, so that we can look at getting started with our fertilizing of our fields. So this Massey Ferguson and the potato harvester was way down on the southwest corner of the map with the case there. So while we're selling this stuff, I want to mention that over at PCSG, I have started a club called the 24-Day Seasons Club. It is open to anyone to join. It is open to anyone to view the club. The purpose of the club is to provide a location for anyone that wants to follow this gameplay's progress. I will be posting a I've called it a Lonely Farmer's blog over in the club, which will kind of follow the progress of this particular farmer, as he moves through the 96-day game year. He'll be keeping track of what he's accomplished on any one given day. He'll be documenting crop yields that he got based on particular fields, so that he can plan out next year's harvests. If he has a particularly good yield for a particular crop on a particular field, he may think about planting that crop in that field again. Or if he discovers that he ran short and really needed more of that crop, then maybe he will decide to put that particular crop in a bigger field next year. There's a forum within the group, so it's really like a site within a website, with obviously PCSG being the main site and then the club being a subsite off of that. If you haven't joined PCSG, I encourage you to go ahead and do so. It's a great website with all kinds of useful and helpful individuals. Alright, it looks like the last thing we have is our harvester and our two headers and our header trailer. And we have quite the nest egg from the starting equipment. We have $1.7 million to get started with. Looks like we've got some weights that we couldn't get sold. We'll have to sell them through a little different method. Let me know what you all think of the series. Give me some comments. What do you all think about this 24-day seasons gameplay? Do you think it's crazy? Do you think it's intriguing? It's interesting? Are you watching just because you want to see how far I'll get before I give up or go insane? let me know. I really wish you could... Alright, is that everything? Alright, that is everything, guys. We have almost $2 million. We started today with $15,000 to our name. So let's take a look at what kind of trucks they got available. So we've got a standard pickup with a flatbed. This truck actually has a little tip function, so we can tip the back. It holds 3,000 liters. We've got a flatbed truck that we can use to load up pallets and bales on. And then we could also use this particular truck to hold a tank. Let me show you the tank. Right here. This will hold a water tank. So it'll hold liquid fertilizer, solid fertilizer, or liquid fertilizer, water, milk, slurry, digestate, or fuel. And then we have this truck here, which is got a cage for logs up to 2.5 meters. So I'm really thinking about this truck here. We'll get the back attacher. We'll get the V8 engine because we're American and we like big power. I kind of like this dark color. We'll go with wheel design 4, and we're going to go with black rims. We're going to go with a sport interior, and we're going to go with standard. We're going to go with universal auto load and IC. So we're going to buy up our truck here, and let's go take a look at her. So there's our truck, and we can we got straps, and we can let's see here, we keypad 7, so we can remove our rack, and then we could back under that tank and load the tank up. So let's put our rack back on there. And let's take a look at the store and see what we're gonna do a manure spreaders. Just gonna look and see what they have in stock. So I'm thinking the Joskin manure spreader might be the good option as far as bang for the buck. Let's see what it costs to lease that. It's $4,300 to lease, $392, $1,960 per hour. This is 3480, 220 horsepower. That's an interesting one. All right, we'll have to look at that tomorrow. And let's look at tractors. So I'm really thinking about, they got quite the catalog. I'm thinking about a John Deere 6000. I heard they had a John Deere 6000 in here. Here we go. So front hydraulic, we want front loader, and 224 horsepower. $10,000 for another 20 horsepower. I think that's good enough there. Probably standard wheels, and that's fine. So that's $136,000. So I think we're going to buy that up tomorrow, as well with a fertilizer spreader and some front loader arms. All right, so let's drive on back to the house and turn in for the night. It's been a very busy day. And we've got a busy day tomorrow because we are going to start our field prep work in the morning. See, the lights are still on. All right. Well, good morning, guys. It is day 2 of our early spring. We had a great night's sleep. We're going to go ahead and jump on in our. Let's see here. Open door. Let's go ahead and open up our door. Jump on in. And let's go ahead and start our truck up. Oh, wrong lights. And let's go ahead and back on out of here. Like I said, we need to run down the store. They are going to open up the store early for us, so we can go ahead and make some purchases. I did go ahead and wire because we still had $100,000 payment that we had to make in order to transfer the title of the farm over to us. So I went ahead and wired that money to the bank last night after we got into the house. Since we sold all the equipment, we had plenty of money to wire that to the bank. Let's go ahead and go on over here and walk on into the store and see about buying that tractor and picking up a manure spreader. Alright, so we want the tractor with front hydraulic, front loader, and pretty much everything else standard. It's going to cost us a little bit of money per day, but it is 224 horsepower, and that's going to be big enough to. Let's go ahead and look and see. We did keep the cultivator, 180 horsepower. We did keep the plow, 180 horsepower. We kept the rapid Vanderstand rapid seeder, and again 180 horsepower. And the Vanderstand Tempo F8, we kept that also, so that's 140 horsepower. So this particular tractor will be able to pull all of the implements that we kept from the original starting fleet. So we're going to go ahead and buy him on up. Alright, and now we need to look at a manure spreader, because we're going to start our fertilization with manure, and then we're going to plow that under. So let's see here. This is 32,000 liters and is 220 horsepower. I think we're going to go with the Joskin at 19,000 liters. But this Farm Tech, this is a hook lift trailer. It's rather interesting. It's 24,000 liters, 15 meter spread. This is 19,000 meters, 15 liter spread. This is $80 a day. This is $55 a day. 12 miles an hour, 12 miles an hour, 170, 130. Okay. So this also then requires the IT runner trailer. Is that here? Yes. So that's $40 a day for the trailer. Okay, and the manure spreader is $55, so that's $95 a day versus $80. But we do then have a trailer that we could use for other things. So we could put a grain container on it, 45,000 liters. We could put this Bergman walking floor trailer on it for 48,000 liters. 18th. I think they're going to go. I think we'll go with. I think we're going to go with that. Now we're probably going to need front loader arms for that tractor. So let's go ahead and I'm going to figure out what color we need to pick for those. Let's just go ahead and get our. The other thing we let me look at something else. Where's the manure spreader? Alright, this one is 18,000 liters, but it's 20 meter spread, and $65 a day. Okay, and that is going to require one of these trailers. Okay, so that's $30 a day, and this one is 60, 70. That's $95 a day again. It's got a little lower capacity. 20 meter spread, 13 miles an hour, $38,000, 11,500. Okay. Versus $52,000 plus an additional $55,000. So that's well over $100,000 versus $49,000. I think this is the better route. So let's look at leasing costs here. So it's $300 a day and $1,500 per operating hour. We're going to need to fertilize all of our fields with this. I wonder how long that's going to take. Plus it's $3,000. Now it would take us, if it took us 20 hours, that would basically be the equivalent of $38,000. I think we're going to buy this and sell it back when we're done with it. And this could be cheapest. That's but that's going to be a pain to back up. So let's go with this particular one. And let's go with Agar wheels, and let's go ahead and buy that up. All right. Well, I don't know how we got in the building. All right, I'll be right back. All right, we're back. We had to do a little bit of a reset to fix that issue, since we do have the no teleport mod in. Let's go ahead and hook up to our trailer here. Go ahead and get underneath our manure spreader. And the guys at the shop were telling me that there is a local farmer that has a pile of manure that we can basically buy some manure off of him to use for our manure spreader. We're just going to need to drive over there and pick it up. So I'm going to look at this. I'm going to try to color code my arms and bucket here if I can. So let's see here. Let's get our arms. I think we're going to go with the 60 arms. And I'm thinking that's the color. I'm mildly colorblind, so if that's not the right color, it's gonna be good enough for me. And we're gonna need let's see here, 15, 12, 18, 6. We're gonna need that bucket. Go with the same color. Alright, let's hope. Let's hope that this is close enough in color. Looks a little off. Oh, good. It looks like we picked the right size arms. It's a little off. We could probably go a little darker. In fact, let's check the store. Do they have a little darker green color? I guess maybe that one. I don't know if that one would be better. I'll let you all tell me in the shop, or you all tell me in chat which green I should pick. All right, we're going to get a guy from the store to help us out by bringing the tractor back to the farm. And then we're going to go get some breakfast. We haven't not eaten yet. I was so excited to get this tractor and everything that I forgot to eat breakfast. So we're going to catch a bite to eat. Here he comes. We're going to catch a bite to eat at the house, and then we'll make our way over to where the local farmer is that has the manure pile, and we'll start buying some manure from him and start working on our fields. Let's just run this on in here to the cow farm for now. Looks like there's some chicken eggs over there. I was going to say we're going to need to figure out where our chicken eggs are. We're going to just back it up over here. Inside a chicken coop, try not to run over any of our eggs. That's where we're going to leave the tractor for now, and like I said, we're going to go back to the house and get us some breakfast, and I'll come back with you a little bit later. So until next time, guys, happy farming.